Welcome back to the Compressor Guru. Today we're going to give you a repeat. It's going to be a shortened version repeat because about 4 years ago the Electric Guru and the Compressor Guru tried to explain 3 different ways to wire a pressure switch, and we got a lot of complaints about how much talking was going on, sort of like how much talking is going on here before we start. So, without any further ado, this is in response to your complaints. Here's the Compressor Guru. Take it away. Ta-da!
Thank you for that not so brief introduction, Bill. This is the short version of 3 ways to wire a pressure switch. The link to the long version with all details will be in the description. So if you need more details than I give you here, go check that out. But now don't complain about how long that one is because I'm not giving you enough detail. Here we go. 110 volt. So this is a 110 volt switch. We have our power coming in. Believe it or not, this bottom line right here is a dark green for our ground. Always hook up your ground. There will be a green ground screw in the bottom of the switch, and make sure you hook up your motor to the ground too. The blue, because we can't have a white wire on a white board, the blue, let's call it the neutral, and it comes over here, and this is depicting a pump control pressure switch. But hook up 3 to the blue wire, hook up 4 to the blue wire, which are white wires, and then your power, you'll usually have a black wire, and so you want to hook your power up to 1 and the black wire off the motor, power to the number 2. This is real simple. This is for 110 volt, and so you basically just match colors, because in 95% of these you match your black wire, your white wire, your white wire, and you make sure you hook up your ground. And it's that simple. Coming up next, it's going to look real similar, but we're going to do a hookup for a magnetic starter. So the second way to wire a pressure switch to operate your compressor is on 5 horsepower and up. Most of you will have a magnetic starter. Don't worry about the internal wiring of the starter if you're just changing the switch. Drain the pressure out of the tank, change the switch, hook your wires back up. But if you're having to hook it up, one wire will go probably to L1 at the top of the starter, where it will pick up power to power the coil. Internally, there's some other wires running around here. It picks up power for the other side of the coil. Most of the coils are 220 volt. And so this red wire is picking up power elsewhere, and it's got 110 volt. And the black has 110 volt. So between them you have 220 to power your coil to run your starter. So you stick on one side of the switch or the other. But so we'll go to 3 and 4 to go to one side of the coil. We'll go to 4 to go to the other side of the starter, which will hook up probably to L1. And of course, hook your ground up. And that's a really simplified version. For the long explanation, go see the link in the description to the long version of this video.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So I see that those wires are green, red, and black. Does that mean the wires in the magnetic starter are going to be green, red, and black?
The only green wire is going to be your ground. Oh. The wires may be black and white. They might be red. It's hard to say what color they'll be.
Thank you.
Our third and final way to wire a pressure switch is for, say you have a 220 3 horsepower motor like you'd buy from one of the big box stores. So you have your 220 power coming in, and we're having issues with black dry erase markers. You put your black to the one post, the black off the motor you put to the number 2 post, and you run it over the motor. The other power, which is probably a white wire, maybe it'd be red, Val, but it comes in, go to number 3, and then take the appropriate wire going to the motor and go to the motor. Of course, hook your ground wires up. So that is a very simple explanation of 3 ways to wire your pressure switch. If you're just changing the switch, take a picture of the wires, and when you're going back together, put the new switch in and look at your phone to see the way you took it apart. Make a diagram, take a picture. The other thing I want to stress to you, if you have air in the tank and need to change your pressure switch, drain all of the air out before you take the pressure switch off the tank. You don't want to throw your pressure switch up into the ceiling, because that air will do it. So drain your tank, change your switch.
Turn off your compressor.
Of course. If you don't turn off your power, you're going to electrocute yourself with this side of it. Self-preservation, that's important. So anyway, folks, this is the short version. We sell pressure switches, and they come preset in different pressures. They also have some adjustment left to them. That's what the A stands for. There's an adjustment screw in there, and you can adjust your pressure up and down. That's another video. And I'm guessing Belle's telling me with their phone going off, that's it for us. This is the short version. Like and subscribe. Have a great day. This is the short version, and that didn't seem to be. But anyway, this is the short version of 3 ways to wire a pressure switch.
What are you holding? I think you should leave that in.
We'll put it in.